Yo, what's good, what's great, and what's going on, everybody? Y'all must not have heard me. I said, what's good?
What's great?
What's going on?
How's everybody doing out there? It's another episode of the Garage Podcast, episode 2, 3, 4, whatever. I don't know. I'm not keeping track at this point. We're just doing what we do, but I would like to send a nice hello to my fantastic co-host, Mr. J. Yeah, not you.
Fake. He looked me dead in the eye.
Omar.
Looked you dead in the eyes and said somebody else's name. Mr. J and the wonderful Mr. Omar. How you guys doing today?
I'm good. I'm always good. Blessed, you know?
Blessed. That's what I love to
Always
hear. That's what I
blessed.
love to hear. And I would love to extend a solid salute to our YouTube viewership, our Spotify listenership. Any way you guys get to view us or listen to us, I thank you. Everybody who shares,
That's true.
comments,
Very true. I just want to say thank you to all of my followers. I really got way more support than I thought I was going to get.
100%.
So I want to say thank y'all. We got more stuff coming for y'all. Keep tuning in. Let's do it.
Let's do this. Anything you would like to say, Jay?
No, absolutely. Honestly, it's just crazy that, I think on Instagram right now we have like maybe 350, closer to 400 followers. And, that's not a lot, but just for a couple weeks, just getting ourselves out there, our name out there, getting some feedback, some from friends and, just from people in our community. Thank you so much. Keep it up. We want to keep it relevant. We want to keep it meaningful. We want to keep it funny, interesting, unique in every way possible. So give us feedback, We'll give you guys feedback and, we'll always try to give you guys the best product, So thank you. Thank you so much.
100%. I would like to double everything that those two gentlemen just said. Everybody who's shouted us out, put us on your stories, even just viewed us.
Yeah. Social
giving
media,
us a simple like.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you. But I was out at work and somebody was like, "Hey, are you from the Garage Podcast?" I was like, "Yeah."
He said, "Finally famous."
That's me.
That's
me.
And then what did he say? What did he say about the podcast?
It was a she. First off,
Oh, my bad.
don't section off our listeners.
I did.
It was a she, and she told me that she had a really good time listening to us. We had really good ideas.
Who she say was her favorite?
Huh?
Clearly me.
It
Has to
wasn't
be
him.
me.
It wasn't Chico.
Had to be me. Where's Jake Kim at? That.
But it was.
No, it was.
Wait, who was
I
it?
said, "Huh," for your sake.
Who was it?
It was me. It was
That's how we know he's
me.
lying.
That's okay.
But-
He didn't even get noticed.
But yeah, that's
Nah, that's crazy
You'll
how
never know.
it's crazy how social.
But seriously, we want to thank you guys from the bottom of our heart. But from the bottom of our heart, you guys, none of this would be possible without you guys, and we do it all for you guys. So yet again, thank you, and we'll try to put on the best possible show for you. that we
Hell
can.
yeah. For all our social media followers. And it's crazy how social media works. But yo, hey, real talk. Do y'all feel like humans or society has become less social due to social media? Like, how do y'all feel about that?
Well, it depends. We have to find like what constitutes exactly as social, right? I mean, is it like in-person social? Do we mean like online presence social, like FaceTiming, reaching out to people, DMing people, having pen pals, anything like that?
I'll tell you what I think. So, I define social as having any meaningful connection to another human being.
Sure.
So, even if per se, I'll give you two instances. The first being catfished, what most people are more aware with, is being catfished and not portraying who you are to the real world. But the people who are getting catfished, I believe, are being social. And even the people who are catfishing, I believe, are being social. While you may not be portraying your real self,
A little manipulative.
a lot manipulative.
That's pretty terrible. But, no, I hear what you're trying.
It's a horrible thing to
but
do.
The base of
and
what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
condoning it.
Okay.
But the base of what I'm saying is that's being social.
Okay. For me, it's like when does it become healthy? In the type of being social. You get what I'm trying to say? So for me, if you're more social online, that's cool and all, because that means you can really share across ideas, your thoughts, jokes, whatever, literally on the other side of the world, right? Within an instant, right? But then again, it's well, what is the cost, right? There's a consequence to everything, right? If I'm always glued to my phone, being social, reaching out to people, but I'm looking at a screen 9 to 10 hours a day, what is that doing to my eyes, my neck, you know, my back, my arm. No, literally, like there's health studies, right, where people who are just fixated on a phone and screen, they have neck, they have back issues. You know, their eyes start to go out a little bit more because they just, you know, staring at a fixed screen, at a fixed point for so long. So I feel like, you know, we are maybe more social in that sense, but like at what cost though? You know what I mean?
So basically, you think social media? You think that the fact that we have social media or where it has gotten to today, we are more social? That's your stance. That's what I'm kind of getting.
Yes. So yeah, in a way, yes. Like online wise, but if we're talking like in the physical like realm, like world, like right now, like this, I think definitely not.
But do you think that's negative?
Being less social in person?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I would think so too. I would think
course,
so too.
Yeah.
Before we get on to whether it's beneficial or rather it takes away from our life, I disagree.
Wait,
I think
what?
I disagree with the idea that we are less social
And
as a race. We may portray the way we do our sociality and the way we portray ourselves to the world. We may be doing that differently, but I think overall there are more people talking to each other. And what I mean by that, and not even what I mean by that, a clear example is the degrees of human knowledge has gone down. And what I mean by that is, it used to be that you are 7 people away from the world. It was a common phrase. And that means that 7 people that you know can physically connect you with the rest of the world.
When was that?
This was just
that one. But no, that's interesting though.
Yeah,
that's
it was common knowledge.
I think that's more of a phrase. I don't know if it's like taken as fact. I think.
No, I believe it, and I could be wrong.
You have to
I could be
the
wrong.
The whole world.
Yeah, you physically. If I know you and you know 20 other people, then I'm automatically connected physically with 21 other people.
Yeah, I got you.
Even if I don't know anybody myself. So with 7 people, you would be connected with the world.
For me, I'm gonna just say straight up no. Like we are way less social because like, you know, you go to a restaurant, you go to a concert, man. Like you're so like people are so glued to like making sure I had the right video for that concert, man. And like, oh, everyone on my follower got to see that. I got to go see Kendrick Lamar. Like, yes, like finally people got to like, you know. And people at restaurants, right? People just looking at their phones, taking pictures. They're not even talking. I mean, that's old news. You know, we've been talking about people taking pictures of food and it not. I don't know. I just feel like social media has made people lose like that experience of like just talking to someone. You know what I mean? In person, right? Like, you know how like thrilling it is to just talk and meet someone random and just talk to them and vibe off that energy from there, and instead of it being through the means of like,
you know what I mean? You're specifically talking about like face-to-face interaction. What I think there's always a balance. So like you say that they're at a concert and everyone's sitting there recording, like they're recording for their 500 other followers. Like I feel like that's being super social. They're at the dinner table and they're taking a picture of whatever their pizza and they're hashtagging pizza. If you look at the hashtag, like there's a whole bunch of people and people like it's very like. You get what I'm saying? But being social.
But my whole thing is like, okay, we're being social, but before what though? You know what I mean?
Like some social like cues maybe sometimes, but I feel like we'll be either.
Like my thing is like, what's the point of posting like these many pictures, these many videos, looking at and scrolling through these hashtags of videos and pictures and be like, oh wow, you know?
That's where I'm saying that I think that our concept of being social has just changed. So.
That's true.
Before phones being social was talking to the people you were around. And it was limited to that, you know, because that's the only people I could share my interactions with other than like snail mail. And I'm your pen pal, you know, like other than that, my main means of communication was just talking to you. But we are no longer in that age. So I feel like what Domo is saying is that even though we aren't having the same face-to-face interactions, I'm talking to the 500 or 300 or 25, whatever the number is, amount of people that I want to talk to.
I'm so relating to them in some kind of way.
In some kind of way.
Okay.
So I think I take a little bit from both of your guys.
No, what I'm saying, what you're saying isn't wrong. Like, you know, like that's cool that you can like, you know, share that kind of information, that kind of content, and have that experience in, you know, in that moment with people, right? My whole thing is like meaningfulness, you know, that's just me though, you know, again, and that's very subjective. This is a very subjective topic anyway, but my thing is just meaning. Like, is there depth? Is there meaning to whatever experience of being social is. And is that being online? Is that because there are people who are social face to face, and it's not the most healthiest. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like whatever they're doing, maybe it's not the most conducive for themselves or for other people. So I guess my thing is like, you know, like
You're more like the meaning and the more like the stuff.
yeah, because I think people are more social in some regards, like online or physical or not. But I think my thing is now like, you know, well, where is the meaning of it? You know, like, is it meaningful? Is it purposeful? Kind of thing. You know.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. I feel like social media has changed so many meanings and things like that. Also, one of the bigger things I think that it has changed, and it's like changed our view and perception, is success. Right, so like, cause you look at somebody with a lot of likes, and even myself, like subconsciously, it's like I know that likes aren't really like they don't really. It's not like amounted with success. But I look at somebody and I be like, dang, he got a lot of likes, or he got a lot of followers, or he's doing this on social media or that. So I feel like sometimes. What do y'all feel about that?
I think it depends on what you think success is, right? Like, is success like I have a lot of money in my bank, or am I happy right now? Like, just genuinely, am I happy? And because that's true, though. Media, in a way, does play success. Because I have friends, I have homegirls, I have people, you know, friends on Instagram. They are having those little, hey, discount code, you know, Etsy, or, you know, Fossil watches, whatever. Put JKim24 as the code, and you can save 10% off your watch, and they'll get $300 for posting that. You know what I mean? So I feel like media does play a role in success because, like, you know, it's giving that avenue and that means, like, to become successful, you know? Just because I'm pretty or I'm funny or I'm popular or whatever I got going on for me, you know, people are going to reach out to me and be like, hey, do you want to sponsor? Or can we sponsor you? You know what I mean?
Like how we view success, like, as a whole, like, as social media changed that. Like how we viewed it.
Yes.
Like, what is success?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say affirmatively yes, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because it's no longer important to be like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, and I mean this in the most aesthetic.
Yeah,
and,
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace first and foremost. Also, but I can't stand you. I can't. Like if you could please leave and never come back, that'd be great.
My cousin said when I cut my hair, he said I look like one of the cashews off of the Proud Family.
Oh my God. Nah, you look like a milk dud.
A milk dad?
Like you look like, but it's been sitting out too long, so it got a little mold on the top.
A little boat.
Moldy. Oh my, crazy out here.
All
With
right.
that.
Oh man.
Oh, but
Y'all some haters.
I'm not. I support it.
Shit, Jay, shut up. Don't say shit.
I was gonna support you. You know what? You are milk dud. You are. I'm with Sam. You are a milk dud, man. Looking out here. Like,
Look at this milk dud face ass nigga.
Mop head.
But
What were we talking about?
no, media and our views of success. I guess yes, because like don't we live in the climate of like cloud chasers?
Yeah, that's what I'm
flexing?
saying. Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Steve Jobs. That's what I was talking about. So he every day used to wear the same set of
Clothes,
shirt
yeah, same outfit.
and jeans. He would buy, like, obviously not the exact same pair, but
Literally, it's like a black shirt
yeah,
and jeans.
yeah, that's
wore that
all
for, like,
he wore, and it
decades.
was like variations of that for decades.
Yeah, for a long
Right?
time.
But if you looked at Steve Jobs and you knew who Steve Jobs was, you didn't have to. You don't have to show off and be like flamboyant and all this stuff because, dude, I'm Steve Jobs. I'm one of the 4 richest men in America, and at any given time, unless I'm in the room with Bill Gates, I'm the richest one here. Like,
true.
and you don't need to show that, and that was his success, right? And I feel like at a point we're gonna have to go back to what do you think success is,
That's true.
and we'll cover that later. But for all intents and purposes, Steve Jobs was successful.
I feel
Yes?
like they're kind of like the same thing. Like how you view success, like it's the same thing. What do you think success is? Like if you feel like oh, he's successful because he got 10 million followers. Like that's success for a lot of people. Is the amount of followers, the amount of likes that they would get.
And I think
what I feel.
that's more important now. And I think that's why our view of success has changed.
So
because
so you feel like it has changed.
Because,
of course,
yeah,
100%,
100%.
100%.
Yeah, okay.
And I think another thing to do with it is just, going on with media is I think what media has done is okay, because if we think about success, like in America, right, like our very what is it now? Like our foundational thought of success, it's the American dream, right? Working hard, right? Good career, make a lot of money, or make a good amount of money, and you have a family, and then you retire. That's the American dream, right? So success is right, acquiring lots of money, right? So then media has definitely changed that, because like what we're seeing is we're seeing a bunch of people, I feel like, on social media sometimes,
A bunch of
chasing.
broke ass niggas.
Literally clout chasing, flexing with cars, jewelry that don't even belong to them. You know that, right? A lot
Dog,
of rappers.
I could also rent that Bugatti
Yeah,
for the afternoon.
they're renting
for,
that
you know what I mean?
Bugatti. They're those clothes that they're wearing.
I could do it if I saved up the money, but like,
You
why?
get what I'm trying to say? Like the clothes they're wearing are probably given to them by the brands to tell them, hey, sponsor for us. You know what I'm saying? And it's not affordable for the average man, but we're all looking at it on our social media platforms. Man, I gotta get that Bugatti. I gotta get that Balenciaga. I gotta get this and that. And so it makes me work harder for something that's not even attainable to the people who are portraying that success.
I feel what you're saying.
So it's a game, honestly. With anything, everything's a game. Like with success, it's just a game. How well are you gonna play the game? Are you player one? Are you player two? Right? Are you first? Are you last? Kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel it.
100%. What do you think success is, Dom? How do you view your success?
Yeah,
as
what's
a person?
Omad's success? Like you got it made. Is Omad's done it?
what's
Like
your
Omad's
dream?
done it. What's success to you, man?
Perfect. So success to me, it's a bunch of different things, right? Let's just start it off though. So of course I want to be financially stable. I don't want to be working or living check to check and have to work 1 billion hours. So I want to be financially stable, of course. I want to make sure that my family is good, right? Because for me, I'm such a family person that if my family ain't good, then I'm not good. I can't be good. There's no way.
Buy your mama a house type of thing. Exactly.
She don't even need to have the biggest house. She just need to stay with me.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also I wanted whatever that I am doing for for a career. Like I just want it to be something that I'm actually like okay with doing, and it's not a job where I got to wake up and be like, oh, I gotta go here, right? So that's what success is to me. Just making sure that what I'm doing is something that I enjoy, something that I love. My family's cool, financially stable, and then just overall feeling good, feeling happy. Boom, success.
Sam, success for me, again, I don't want to sound like very like Mother Teresa, like preachy, but like for me, it's like how many people, like by the time I've died or like I've been gone, like how many people did I help, like genuinely? Like I'm sure, I don't know if people have watched Schindler's List before. That's a movie about like the Holocaust. In the last scene, Liam Neeson is in front of all the Jews he saved, right? Because he saved a bunch of Jews, right, from a camp, and like everyone's like going, "We'll miss you, Mr. Schindler. Thank you so much for your help," right? But then he looks at him and goes, "No, like this ring I got on, like this ring, like I could have saved 2 more people with this ring, man. Or this suit, like what do I need this Italian suit for? This could have been another person." Or my car, that could have been 4 more people. And he starts breaking down because he's like, dude, I could have saved 1 more. I could have. So my whole thing is like that does sound like over the top a little bit, but like for me, success is like I was able to help like as many people as possible. And like with that, but that doesn't mean that like I'm living in the street and like, my mom is in the street too kind of thing, right? Like what I'm doing is ultimately for the cause of like helping people like grow and like becoming better in whatever they need to be better in. Yeah. But it's to the point where I'm not like paycheck to paycheck either. Like I'm making sure I'm good, mom is good, family, friends are good. We're all good, kind of thing. So to me personally, like that would be what like
that's one of mine too. This one I should
success would mean to me.
I'm jealous. I should have said it.
No, I mean don't. No, I mean it's because that could be different for everybody, right? People, like an NBA player, to him, like that's helping people. And be like, what do you mean? You're shooting a ball in a bucket. Like, how's that helping people? No, it's helping people maybe like, achieve their dreams, be in a team, be athletic, get yourself out of, you get what I'm trying to say? So like helping,
I was just kidding.
So like helping others, in that sense, like that could be like in any.
Yeah, no, I was saying the whole time, but yeah.
But like. So
well, what's success to you, Sam?
I would say success to me is, it's very open-ended. So, obviously, what success to me isn't success to everybody, but I also do realize what is success to me now may not be success to me in, like, a few years, So, when I was 18, I had this kind of view that I would be like super rich and like super luxurious and living the best life and living my best life. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. But as I've gotten older, don't get me wrong, I'm only 23 now, so I have much more to grow. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that success to me is much more intrinsic. It's not something that I can materially put my finger on.
Yeah.
Like, of course, money is going to have to be a part of that because in order to live a stable and happy life, you have to have some form of currency. I'm not dumb enough to think that that's not the case, but also at the same time, it's much more about everything else. So, there's one thing I heard my dad say like a long time ago. He was like, no matter how rich or poor we may be, we're always wealthy. He said, what I mean by that is we have love, we have each other. If we can keep it up, we have our health. You know, there's so many other dynamics in what it means to be successful to me that aren't
Like material.
It's not something I can put my hand on.
No, it's something.
You know?
That's like what Bob Marley said. You know, he was being interviewed one time, and someone was like, "Are you rich, Mr. Marley?" And goes like, "What do you mean rich? Like, what does that mean? Like,
am I rich?
Like, do you
I'm
have?
rich in life.
Yeah. He said,
I'm rich in love.
yeah. He's like, my riches are in heaven above. He's like, you know, because like he was like, you have a big car, a big house, a lot of money. He goes like, that's rich to you, like that's
Don't
not
get me
riches.
wrong, and those things, I'm not completely Bob Marley. I'm materialistic.
Hell yeah.
I like nice things.
Hell yeah.
But that shouldn't be
I
the
like-
focal point, though.
Yeah, I like looking nice, but I think what dictates success to me is overall, and it's one thing and one thing only, and that's being happy.
That's it. Yeah.
As long as my life, I can say I enjoyed, and this is a very selfish thing, I understand.
No, go ahead.
A lot of your guys' was, hey, my family, my life, like, you know, my friends, and honestly, I would love that for everyone around me, and for me, myself, my family, everyone who I care for. I would love riches beyond our wildest dreams. But realistically, what I can say is I can make myself happy. Regardless of anything else, I can be a happy person.
Hell yeah.
And that is what dictates success to me.
That's true.
And I think that it's a moving target. It's going to change over time, you know, because right now, obviously, to me, being happy isn't having a kid, but I'm 23. In 10 years, having a kid is being happy. Assumably.
Depending on the person.
Yeah, of course.
I want to change my answer. Well, I want to add on to my answer just real quick.
Yeah.
Of course.
What's up?
Please.
So,
Wait, were you done with yours?
You got all out of it.
Don't worry.
As
Don't
you're gonna
So
need.
what's more success to you than on mine?
Well, motherfucker, I like to make music, right? So my music ain't got to be like
So
I
doing
don't
what you
feel
love.
like I just feel like the music that I make, like the way it makes me feel, like I done made some songs that I done cried to, right? So just for me, like when you love art, whatever type of art it is, when you love it that much, then like just doing it, putting it out, creating in any form or fashion like that, like just doing
That's
it
true.
and having it be something that you like personally, that's success.
And with that being said, for everyone who's watching and listening, that goes for everyone out too. Like success doesn't mean having the big house and the great job and the money and the
Never
hot
does
wife.
and never
Like it's
will.
about like, oh yeah, like what Sam was saying. I agree with that 100%. Are you good? Like you could, like let's say your whole passion is owning a flower shop, being a botanist. If you are so like fucking happy because you're selling,
pull out botanist,
you know, 'cause
you knew that word.
you know, I mean, I'm just
Fuck
saying,
you.
no,
Right,
no,
continue,
oh
but
yeah,
fuck
sorry,
you.
I didn't, you know, I
What's
just
a
went to
botanist?
school past 8th
Like
grade,
for,
you know.
for knowing the word botanist.
You know, that was a 7th
offhand,
grade
just
spelling bee
like,
word, but other than that, but no. But what I'm trying to say though
What's
is,
a botanist?
but no, what I'm trying to say is
What's
like,
a botanist? That's what I'm trying to
it's
say.
like a flower keeper.
Oh.
Basically, my thing is like success can be whatever it is to the person. So like if them it's like owning a flower shop and like 10 people come every day and that makes them so happy and they can make a life off selling flowers and that's your success. Props to you, man. Like I love that you can live that life and that you're selling flowers to people and like that's the best life you're living. So it's not about reaching some multi-level status like level. You know what I'm trying to say? Like success is to you, like you said. As long as you're good, you're happy, intrinsically, everything's A-okay, yeah, be the big boss billionaire, or be like a flower shop owner, or be a waiter, be a doctor, as long as you're happy in your own shoes, you can go and walk anywhere.
So subjective, pretty much.
100%. And I think what is the majority of the problem with people attaining success nowadays is really not only how we view it, but like the effect it has on us mentally about how others view it.
Okay.
So we're in an age where we post everything to social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to be recognized and acknowledged for our success. Sometimes it's not just enough to have intrinsically what you need to move forward. And I think that plays a lot into our youth's and our generation's mental health issues. Because now more than ever, it seems like our mental health as a society has been going down. More people have been able to express themselves as having depression, having anxiety. And I think that it really ties in very well because there are so many of us that feel alone. There's so many of us that feel like they're in need of help, whether it be socially, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, whatever it may be, And like, why do you guys think that is? Why do you think this? Do you think?
Oh man.
Do you think it's? I'm gonna explain in one or two parts. Do you think it's our generation being able to speak up more? Do you think we're now less afraid of speaking up?
You want to go
about our mental health issues, or do you think? Hold on, or do you think we just have more mental health issues? Do you think there are more people?
It's up
with
to you.
depression?
You can go because I'm about to go.
You sure?
off.
Because I'm about to
I
go.
was about to
I'm about to
off.
go.
I was
Let me know.
I'm about to jump the gun on this one. I mean,
feel
you
me?
can go first. I mean, it's up to you.
I'm about to get the bazooka.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
gonna
go
choose
first?
Jay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm about to go in right now.
Go ahead.
You folks ready? You know why we're so like fucked up right now, like mentally?
Crack cocaine,
Oh my God. I mean, just look at the way we're living.
not crack cocaine.
What do you
Okay.
mean? What do you mean?
We live. Well, okay. Let's go from all angles, right?
It's definitely not. Crack.
If you're different in this country, you get persecuted. Oh, his skin color is a little different. His religion's a little different. He doesn't sound the same. He doesn't look like me. He's not from here. His food's different. The way he does things, she does things. That's not cool, right? So, one thing, you're different a little bit in this country, you get persecuted. Number two, look at, it's physical too. You know what I mean? How come there's not a fast food salad place I can go to real quick? Why is there a Hardy, a Jack in the Box at McDonald's every 30 feet? How come I can't get good healthy food that's accessible to me, right?
Talk about it, King.
Where's Jules, Stizzy's?
Talk about
There's
it,
Jules,
King.
Stizzy's all in my mouth. I'm going to bed past 10, 11 p.m., past my REM sleep. I'm not getting breakfast in the morning. I'm going out every weekend. I'm going out every weekend, and drinking and doing this and that, which is like a normal American cultural thing, but that's tiring my body out. I'm thinking about so much about other people think because Twitter, social media, Instagram, I love it, but I hate to say it, it's making people if you're not in the know, then get the fuck out kind of thing. If you don't know how to talk, if you don't know how to joke on here, if you don't know how to be a part of us, if you can't be fly like us, if you can't post like this, if you can't retweet these kinds of things, go fuck yourself. I don't think you're in the know. I don't want to be around you. And there's so many things, man. Women get hypersexualized in everything. You can't watch a fucking Burger King commercial without some lady in lingerie oh yeah, you want barbecue sauce? What the fuck? Children are watching this, man. What are you doing? Seducing me through the 30-second ba 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 ba. You wanna fuck? You know what I mean? We live in. So I could keep going on forever. It's just this culture we live in. This culture, it's us too. You know what I mean? We gotta we gotta get up and do something about it. I don't know. That's just.
What do you suggest we do, Jay? Because we know the problems, man.
Okay, you know what is crazy?
What's the solutions?
People talk about mental health, but you know what? Something that's really elephant in the room. People say, "Oh, I'm depressed. I have anxiety and all this." And don't get me twisted, though. There are people who have depression. There are people who have anxiety. But there are also a lot of people who manipulate others or use that as a tool or as a front because they can't deal with the insecurities and the things that they have to go through.
Yo, for
So
real,
they
talk
have to
about
put
that
that shit
shit,
onto
yo.
other people. I'm depressed. I'm sad. Feel pity for me. Like, fucking feel bad for me. Huh? Pity me. Huh? Just feel sorry for me. Talk to me. Visit me. You know what I mean? But in reality, nah, you just a bitch. Like, you're just sad. You're lonely. You're angry.
Jay, wait, hold on, my man.
I'm gonna wind it back.
No, I'm being serious.
I'm gonna wind it back a little bit.
No,
You're right.
Wait. Let me keep
You
going.
ain't wrong.
Let me keep going because because people are so soft, right? We live in this soft culture, right? We can't say anything online or to people anymore without being. I'm fucking offended, man. This shit hurts me. You called me, bruh. Grow some fucking balls, like, man. Toughen up your fucking skin. Do whatever the fuck you gotta do. Your skin's too soft. Put on your fucking jacket, man. Like, you know what I mean? This is the world we live in. Like,
Yo, we got New York.
you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the world we live in, man.
East
Like,
Coast,
I'm sorry.
Yo, B.
Like, people have depression, anxiety. Okay, folks. People who do have that, I do feel for you. You know what I mean? And I have prayers and blessings for all of you. But I'm trying to talk to all the people who are insecure. I'm trying to talk to all the people who use that against themselves, more importantly, and then put that onto others. That's just me.
I'm not sure that, just on that point alone, I'm not sure that I was following you too much. What do you mean use that against themselves and then put it on others?
So
yeah.
if I can expound a little bit, because I've felt this a lot within the past 5 years ish. So I think it was 2014, maybe 2013, when I was diagnosed with depression, and it was something for me that it was hard to go through. You know, like we didn't have, and don't get me wrong, I'm not salty about it. I'm not angry about it. That we didn't have the type of outlets back then. People weren't as vocal and as social 5 years ago about mental health issues, right? And then it became, when people were vocal and social about it, that there was a wave of people who were rightfully so. Like, hey, I've been dealing with this. I've been going through anxiety. There were people like Charlemagne the God. There were people like Joe Budden. There were people that expressed how they felt without making it too much about themselves, you know? You know, like the things I've been through, what I'm experiencing, it's not just me. It's a part of my mental health issues, but it's something I know I can overcome, et cetera, right? There was that wave. And then after that, it became popular. You know, so it became trendy to have anxiety.
And that's what I was talking about.
And
yes.
to say, hey, I feel social anxiety, and to, hey, I'm depressed. And while I won't go as far as Jay, because I do want to believe a lot of those people.
No, but I'm saying, okay. But all I'm trying to say is it's for the people who, like, you can see that they're outright hurting others.
And
that's what I mean.
100%.
You know what I mean?
They're using that platform.
That's the only people I'm talking about.
They're using that platform to take advantage of the fact that people feel sorry for, and I think that's what Jay was saying.
Spot on.
As the point that they're hurting themselves and then putting it onto others, because I'm hurting my reputation by saying, like, all of these things, and it's not hurting your reputation necessarily to say that you have mental health issues.
Not at all.
But it is when it does when you say it, and then it's very apparent that you're taking advantage of it.
And it's a scapegoat to be reckless and do whatever you
Who
want.
do y'all follow? Because I don't know. I don't feel like I seen any of this on my timeline. Maybe I'm not following the right people.
It's not even about following people. It's just the people that are around you in your life sometimes. It could be at school. It could be in your family.
That's what I'm saying. No one that I know.
Well, that's just you then, man. Because I'm pretty sure people that.
All right, well, I'm not gonna name drop.
No, I'm asking like, are y'all talking like? I'm asking like, are y'all speaking like celebrities, like
anybody?
Anybody?
Like everyone's like that, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Not
you guys are
everyone.
saying everybody. I'm saying I don't see nobody.
Okay, I would say, to be more specific, the most people I've seen it with them more constantly is like social media influencers. You know, so. People who post videos every day, whether it be on Vine, used to be on Vine,
or Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
Give me a name. Give me a name. I gotta know somebody.
No, it's not even. But it's not like that though. We're just saying like.
I don't keep track like that. You know, I don't. I'm not. You know, it's not something I hold so offensively that I'm gonna keep track of those people. But I do notice, like, hey, you made this I have depression video that's 22 minutes, and you got 1.4 million views on it, and I feel like there's a reason for that.
I think we have mental health issues too. Also, just to go with what you're saying is just from us. Like, how are we treating each other? Like, that's my biggest thing. Like, there's all these other factors. But, like, the fact that, like, oh, I can't sit in the same room with you, man, because, like, you're fucking Muslim, whatever, like, religion you are, man. We're Christian and we're American here. You know, we can't have... It's stuff like that. It's like, we have mental health because we don't know how to, like, sit down like this, look at each other in the eye, and, like, talk to each other and talk about things that are maybe different or challenging or uncomfortable. But we got to talk about it, because then what happens when we don't? We act out. We act a fool, right? It's all... so, you know... That's basically what I was trying to say. I'm good off that. But basically what I'm trying to say is, how are we treating each other, guys? You know what I mean? Like, we got to express some love, you know, hug a brother kind of thing, you know? Like, show some love to people, man. Like, don't ostracize people just because they're different. Like, that makes no sense to do, you know?
Yeah. I feel 100%. Like that behavior is mostly learned, though. That's the sad part.
And that's why a big part of life is unlearning. People think life is all about learning things. But no, some of us have learned things for so long, we think it's as truth. But we gotta unlearn it. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta detach that from us, learn something else again. You know, relearn, right? Adapt, adjust.
I feel
and
it. I
go
guess,
better from
I guess
there.
maybe the people that I follow, maybe they don't get 100%. Down like that as far as using mental health issues to get clout.
Okay.
And I hate to bring this up at this moment in time, but I'm
gonna use mental health issues to get clout.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
It reels it in though.
Yeah. So just if y'all have the time. Go on my page, man, and look at my posts. I do a post on mental health issues, anxiety, and self-imaging issues specifically. It's going to be _OMOD. Just check it out and see what y'all see. I need to see what y'all have to say.
_OMOD for Omad. So
yes, please
check that out. Please check that out.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
See what our great co-host has to say on that topic. And without further ado, let's just hop right into our last topic, guys. And the last thing we got here today, because we've been talking about so many things that make me just so sad inside. I feel horrible. I need something to pick me up. So we got a new segment today. And this segment is called Damn Homie, That's What's Up.
That's what's up.
Damn.
Like, damn, homie.
Dang.
That's what's up.
Dang. Where'd you find this?
So what this topic was based out of is just the general idea that news is too sad, you know? Like, all of our major news outlets, it's just car accidents and robberies and murders. Sometimes we just need something to pick us up. Sometimes we just need something to be like, hey.
Positive content.
Damn, homie, that's what's up.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I enjoy that. I like it. Makes me feel better.
True.
So, with that being said, our first topic on Damn Homie, That's What's Up is going to be the recent Pride parades. So, Pride parades, not many people know this, have been going on for almost 50 years now.
Damn.
The first Pride parade was June. No, actually.
Not really? I thought it was. You
would assume.
That movie. Oh no, okay.
You would assume.
I thought it was. Where was the first one?
The first recorded Pride parade was in Chicago, June 27th, 1970.
Chi-town.
Chirac.
Very first.
Sir.
Very surprising first place
for
that type of event, but it's been going ever since. I think they had one shortly after in L.A., same year, 1970. So next year we will officially be celebrating the 50th anniversary of Pride parades in LA.
I'm gonna have to go.
That's insane. And not only is it insane, it's so supportive to know that while I'm positive that none of us here may identify with completely with the LGBT community, we can always identify with them in being minorities. While we may not share much in our sexual orientation, we share so much in our background, in our history, and what we've had as a culture and individually to have to overcome to get to the spots and where we're at.
Heck yeah,
absolutely.
I feel like I feel like we do share a lot. I've been to one Pride parade, and because my sister she wanted to go, and I was like, I don't have no preference.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I have no preference, but it's just like I don't know. I've never really been to a Pride parade.
Comfortable
I didn't know what to. It's not even that I didn't feel. Yeah, a little bit, but man, I went I went to this pride parade because I was thinking like, you know, me, like I'm a male. I'm like, man, I don't want nobody hitting on me. I went to, no one gave a fuck about me. No one cared. Everyone was so happy. Everyone was so cheerful. They were dancing to the music. It was like, I'm in this motherfucker like, damn, like made me want to dance.
Yeah. Y'all turning up on the road.
Yeah, it was beautiful. That's why that 50th one, I'm gonna have to be there. It was good. It was hot. You know what I'm saying? But it was hella tight.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that 100%, especially from the standpoint like one of my closest friends in my life, somebody who I call my brother. Shout out Andrew. He's in the military. He's in Poland right now. Out in Poland, we got people in Poland listening. By the way, that's dope. So shout out to all you guys. But other than that, my brother, he's a person that I've looked at with such reverence in my whole life. Like he's been somebody that like he's not only been an example for me for being who he is, but he's been an example for me just as an upstanding person, you know? And sometimes, especially like what Damo was saying, like you feel like kind of awkward going to these, as a straight man, you feel awkward going to these situations because you have all your pride about you. You don't want to, I don't want to be hit on, man. I'm a grown-ass man, nobody. You know, but it's not like that at all. It's an accepting community that loves everybody for who they are. And there's nothing much more you can ask from any group of people. And so to the LGBTQ community, I want to extend a great thank you for leading the way and just showing us, not even as straight people, but just as people of any sexual orientation, just how to do it.
How to love unconditionally.
How to love, how to live, and how to carry on your life in a way but still stand for something. How no matter who I am or what I do in my spare time, I am still a person.
Yep.
And I deserve the rights of every single individual in the United States. Period. Regardless of anything else, whether it be sexual orientation, skin color, gender, regardless of what the case
Everyone's
may be.
entitled to how to live a life in this world. Yeah, 100%.
100%. How do you feel on that, Jay? How do you take this this not only upsurgence of the LGBTQ community, but this embracing of it? Because it seems like more and more every day, our social media, everybody seems to be embracing this culture more.
You know what's so funny? Now it's about to get real interesting. It's because I already know comments are gonna blow up. I already know it's about to go down on my part. But it's because I grew up Christian. You know, my dad's a pastor. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people, you know, say, oh, Christians, you know, are terrible, religion's terrible. They basically say that we hate the gays, we hate homosexual people, like we hate this and that. No, and you know what? It's not like that. It's just because the way the church deals with those things are so unhealthy. Because it's like, if you do these kinds of things, that's okay. But like, if you're gay, right, then you like, oh, that's like too much. You know what I'm saying? So that's why growing up, I'm not gonna lie, my input is very limited because like, just from my community and how I was raised, there weren't too many members of the LGBTQ community like around me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think the very first time I really like met and like talked with like a gay person was like when I was like 17. When I moved to California, when I moved to California and I went, in my high school, there were people there and like, I got to talk to them and know them and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, I feel like there's this negative connotation that Christian people get, and, like, it does make sense because we've done a pretty shitty job, like, embracing and understanding the LGBTQ community. That's why, like, people like me, I'm in the position right now to, like, keep learning, keep understanding, keep having awareness, like you said, like, we're all people, like, we all deserve our rights and our equality, and, like, living a life, that's, like, meaningful, so.
I appreciate that stance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I feel like it's one that a lot of younger people of religious backgrounds are coming to. Mm-hmm. Of course, the older folks are more stuck in their ways, but I appreciate that wholeheartedly. I really do.
So,
yeah, 100%, and I think that will move us into one of our amazing topics we have going on for our next episode, and that will be religion. Should we keep it? Religion versus religion versus spirituality.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a
We
good
rocking
one.
that
Oh,
one?
that's a
So
good one.
everybody,
I got some
we've
good takes on that.
We've had a little bit of a talk here
some
behind
good
the
takes on
scenes
that.
and pre-production. It might get a little heated next week.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
But
Next
tune
week
in.
is gonna be lit. Let's just
Yeah,
keep it
that's
real.
That's a hot one. That's a hot one.
Let's
for
keep it
sure.
real.
Yes,
Next week is gonna be
absolutely.
lit. We gonna be
Absolutely.
fighting. Me and Chico gonna throw some bows or something. We gonna be lit.
Yeah, I'm looking. I might.
I'm bringing my Bible.
But all right, that was
might-
good. Oh, that's
Now
what
get
you
it?
bring, bro.
I ain't
I
got
might,
no
I
Bible.
might, I might have to fade a
I'll bring
nigga.
the Quran. I guess I'll bring the.
Like I said, next week we got some spicy topics coming up for you guys.
sir.
So make sure you guys tune in. One more thanks out to everybody who has viewed, if you stayed this long through the podcast,
Thank
and you're listening to my voice right now.
month, but-
Yo, I fuck with you hard.
Wait, what?
I fuck with you hard.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think the hard part just makes it.
No, I fuck with you hard.
I fuck with you like
Hard. Like, but
or
hard
say
though.
heavy. Like I fuck with you heavy.
No, but hard.
Don't hate. That's. I
I
feel
fuck
that.
with you hard.
Hard.
Also, Alchemy Productions, Alchemy
big
Studio,
shout out.
Studios, Alchemy Studio. Thank you so much. You know,
Provided
for,
this
the producers,
amazing
the
set,
directors, you know.
and not only that,
Thank you so much.
they've provided our editing. They've done so much for us. We can never give a big enough shout out to our friends at Alchemy Studio. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
None of this
Thank you.
would be possible without you.
Thank you.
To everybody back scenes, behind the camera, we want to give a big shout out, a big thanks.
Shout out.
You guys really help us moving forward and getting to where we need to be, and we can't thank you enough for that, genuinely. And
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Last but not least, thank you guys. We do this for you.
For you.
We do this for
And your
your
mama.
viewing content,
I've
for
been
you guys
texting.
to be entertained. So, and I got this a couple times throughout the week. Nobody be confused. Like we're not a super dope podcast. You guys can chime in on things that you want to say, and we're not too industry. You know,
What
if
you
you guys
mean?
have opinions or
Oh, yeah.
ideas you want to share with us.
Oh my.
Yeah, he was about to pop off.
What you mean we not super
What you
dope?
mean we not dope? Nigga,
Bitch,
I'm dope
I'm
as fuck.
dope. Fuck you, I'm
Me,
dope.
I'm cool. I'm tight as fuck.
Nigga, speak for
Your
yourself.
hair, whack. Your stance, whack.
Whack.
Me, I'm tight as fuck.
Jay he's officially not tight. Just
I'm
for
tight
that.
as fuck.
Okay.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, but no,
God, hat.
we're always
really good.
open to suggestion,
Your
guys.
hat
So
off
hit
and
us up.
Then we can talk. Then we can talk.
Take your hat off.
Man, oh, you know what? You're
Take
right.
your
My
hat-
hair is bad. I got hat hair for sure.
Hat hair?
I'm about to look like, you know,
Hope.
SpongeBob's
All
house
right,
over
fellas.
He says
Nah.
Without any
SpongeBob.
further ado, thank my amazing co-hosts for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't make
Thanks,
a life.
guys.
Don't take a life. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Don't
Thanks,
make life,
guys.
don't take life. You feel me?